Hey guys, now that I'm back from vacation, welcome back to the third episode of my Prepper playthrough. In our previous episode, I attempted to reclaim the prison grounds and meticulously catalog my treasure trove of resources. We ended with us seeking refuge indoors in order to hide from the thunderous rotor blades of a helicopter. But before we delve into the newest chapter, if you find enjoyment in this content and you're not subscribed already, I'd be honored if you joined this ever-growing community by clicking the subscribe button. Alright, now that that's done, let's get into the episode. As the ominous helicopter maintains its presence above me, my options become limited, compelling me to maintain a patient and covert posture within the confines of the prison. The recollection of unfinished business in the form of clearing out the mess hall and laundromat springs to my mind, prompting me into immediate action. Embarking on this task without any delay, my trajectory leads me towards the west lobby, only to be greeted by an assembly of wandering undead, drawn by the hovering aircraft above. With a battle cry that only a prepper armed with determination can muster, I commence my attack, swiftly sending those undead troublemakers packing. But alas, I resist the urge to hit the gritty over the corpses. To avoid becoming the Pied Piper of the apocalypse, I opt for a low-profile existence within the building, slinking through the hallways like a shadow. As I strut towards the catwalk door, I'm serenaded by the rhythmic thumping of a zombie trying to break the door. So I graciously grant him VIP access to my knife. A swift obliteration later, I waltz into the mess hall, tiptoeing around, aiming to dodge any social invitations from the undead crowd. Just when I thought it was clear, I saw an undead tea party of two down a hallway. Or so I thought. Turns out it was more like a Zombies Anonymous in a connecting room. Naturally, I extended my invitation to a one-on-one dance of death, but the zombie shared the invite with his friends, who awkwardly show up after I killed him. So I swiftly take out each uninvited guest, one after another, until it's a one-man party. I cautiously enter the laundromat, only to be greeted by a grand total of 0 zombies, so I look around and find nothing of value. I return to the hallway only to be welcomed by a solo zombie who apparently thought it would be a good idea to throw me a surprise party. Balloons and all were missing, but the intention was there. Before I could give him a hug, his friends rudely interrupted me. So I began swinging away, flailing with the grace of a dancer fighting off invisible spiders. I decide to wrap up the night's festivities and head in for a well-deserved nap. I gear up for another day of post-apocalyptic adventures, only to be greeted by a ghastly spectacle, a zombie parade crashing through my once-standing gate. With the grace of a caffeinated sloth, I spring out of my jeep, ready to orchestrate a symphony of zombie demise. One by one, I end each one. I venture to my other entrances, discovering that my abode had become the hangout spot for zombies to congregate. The courtyard in front of my second warehouse resembles the bleachers of a WNBA game. Very few spectators, unfortunately, so I crash their gathering with all the charisma of a reluctant party pooper. Satisfied with my endeavors, I shift my gears from zombie wrangling to zombie proofing. Walls rise like defiant monuments to human resilience, designed to keep the shambling masses at bay. Yet, even in my tireless effort, I recognize the dire consequences of potential exertion. The wise call for rest echoes in my weary mind. A siren song inviting me to a well-earned reprieve. I retreat to my haven, allowing the scent of victory to mingle with the promise of rest, poised to rise again to face the ever-hungry zombie horde. Following an intensive 5-day crash course in literacy, enlightenment, and architectural prowess, I construct the walls that would make even the biggest of castles envious. My domain, the prison, now resembles a fortress worthy of an epic fantasy novel. Alas, the post-apocalyptic landscape refuses to adhere to my vision of tranquility, as problems queue up like impatient patrons outside a popular venue. My pantry, once teeming with provisions, now mirrors the barren wasteland outside. Canned goods have dwindled to precious few, and the frigid grasp of winter lingers, keeping foraging ventures at bay. With priorities clear as day, I chart a hierarchy of survival essentials. Food takes the coveted top spot, followed by the elixir of mobility, gas, and last but not least, the armor against winter's chill, warmer clothing. Thus, the moment of truth arrives. Casting aside the comfort of my fortified prison sanctuary, I am compelled to emerge into the wilderness once more, Armed with the determination and a shopping list that could rival the discount list of a Karen, I step out to confront the apocalyptic wilds, forging my path amidst a symphony of creaking winds and echoing silence. With the swagger that would make a seasoned explorer proud, my initial move involved venturing into the heart of Muldrow. The grand scheme I concocted was to navigate my trusty Jeep to a safe dismount point where I would gracefully disembark and search the nearest building. It's here that I'd transition from motorized efficiency to pedestrian prowess. I first stopped at a storage facility. Here I managed to find some more duct tape and tools. If my supplies were to ever dwindle at base, I now know where to go. But tools aren't on my list of priorities, so I move on towards the houses in hopes of finding food and warmer clothing. Not long after I find the first house. Upon entering the home, I could hear a pounding coming from what I assumed would be the bathroom, so I crept up and opened the door, ready to dispatch the zombie. Unfortunately, there were 4 or 5 more of his friends in there with him. I'm not sure exactly why, but I didn't want to stop and ask any more questions, so I hopped back out the window and moved on to the next house. I decided to create a bigger gap between the zombies and I by skipping this house. Plus, I noticed a garden in the house after it, so I enter the house and navigate my way to the back window where I leap out into the backyard. But before I start harvesting, I have to make sure that I dispatch any nearby zombies. Embracing the art of multitasking, I begin executing a rhythmic sequence that alternates between undead defenestration and the meticulous gathering of nature's offsprings. Once I've picked all I could pick, I move back to the refuge of the house. Shifting gears from agriculture to culinary exploration, I begin to raid the cupboards, as if participating in an elaborate scavenger hunt, seeking the precious treasures of canned goods to bolster my stockpile. After gathering enough food, I decide to make my way back to the Jeep. Navigating the return to my trusty Jeep, I become a phantom of caution, melding seamlessly into the surroundings like a whisper in the wind. My every step is a masterclass in stealth, as I orchestrate an intricate dance of evasion, ensuring that the undead horde remains oblivious to my presence. I stumble upon an ambulance, where I quickly decide to siphon the well-needed gas. Everything was going swimmingly up until I arrived to my Jeep, where I find a gaggle of undead buffoons, standing there like a group of male partners at a Taylor Swift concert. I'm not lying when I say this was my closest call to death. With the zombies left in my rearview mirror, I rejoin the open road with a sense of triumph fueling my journey. A cocktail of luck, quick thinking, and a touch of finesse has guided me unscathed through this perilous journey. The world beyond the windshield unfolds like a canvas of possibilities, painted with hues of luck and excitement. Thoughts swirled in my head, each one a glimmering gem of gratitude and anticipation. It's a serenade of good fortune that plays softly, reminding me of the treasures I've gathered from the land of both decay and bounty. Canned sustenance and fresh produce coexist as culinary trophies, testaments of my resourcefulness amidst the adversity. But the tapestry of triumph doesn't end there. Like a seasoned scavenger, a new jacket, a functional yet stylish trophy from the house with the garden now graces my assembly. It's a symbol of my ability to thrive, and to face the challenges of the world outside with style and a hint of swagger. Guiding my battle-hardened Jeep back to the confines of the prison, I nestle it behind the stout wooden gate that I hastily constructed. Like a knight returning to their castle, I secure my mechanical steed in its protective stable, confident in the stronghold I have fashioned. With vehicular matters squared away, I ascend to the watchtower to replenish my precious stockpile of sustenance. Perched atop my outpost, watching the sinking sun as it paints the horizon in hues of warmth, a fleeting embrace before the night's cool fingers caress my skin. Recognizing the impending dip in temperature, I go to gather the fuel of warmth. With my arms laden with timber and a promise of warmth, I arrive back at the heart of my shelter. The crackling fire springs to life like a faithful companion, casting its illuminating embrace. I surrender to the symphony of crackling flames, melting into the warmth with the weariness of a day's work well done. Here, in this fleeting moment of reprieve, the world outside recedes, and I finally allow myself the luxury of relaxation. In the next upcoming episode, I'm setting my sights on a mission of amplified might, the pursuit of increased firepower to hopefully clear out all of Muldrow. This will help make my supply runs less risky and manageable. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for watching and or listening to this riveting series. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, I extend an earnest invitation to press that elusive subscribe button and join this ever-growing community. Also, thank you so much for helping me hit 300 subscribers while I was on vacation. I'm truly thankful that you all took a chance on this channel and followed. So thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.